I'm back, I have my notes, and it's time to get on to week 4 of the weekly recap. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Week 4 of the weekly recap. Thank you so much everyone for joining us for today's video. We are going to get into it. There's been some kisses. There's been our first go all the way. And there has been a lot of drama. And it's time for us to go into that and find out what the drama was really all about. Because that was a lot. And it was all centered around one person. My notes. We started off the episode by deciding whether or not to stay in bed with Henry or go and sleep with Jude. And we decided we were going to go and spend the night with Jude. And I think that was the right decision because it was really lovely and we got to wake up together in the morning. And also, Hamish was being weirdly philosophical straight away and I kind of love it. But it was unexpected, to say the least. For me, it's all about communication. Finn and Kat do not communicate. Communication is the most important marker of a healthy relationship. Oh my god, does Hamish know what he's talking about? It's the bridge between confusion and clarity. After we wake up in the morning, we get to go and change and choose our outfit for the day. But we also had some Kat and Finn drama, of course, first thing in the morning. It's the vibe, girls. Fiery. Damn, it sounds like our cat's got her claws back. Well, I can kind of feel the electricity flowing between me and Finn again. Please. 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 Kat. I'm gonna get whiplash. I'm gonna get whiplash from this. And that was followed by Melissa being very sassy in the dressing room. And I really liked this. I'm kind of thinking of re-exploring my chemistry with Chen. Sure, I'm gonna remain neutral. You do you. If that's something you want to explore, go for it. Thanks. Don't recall ever asking for your permission though. Oh, Melissa! Sassy. Very sassy. Okay. After that, we were straight on to today's challenge. I feel like it's always a nice change when we have the challenge first thing. And we started by heading down and doing 2 challenges. We had Mr. and Mrs. and we had balloon popping. So in these pairs, they were already randomized, apparently, all paired up ahead of time. So it was Kat and Finn, Jude and Iris. Fantastic. Hamish and Melissa, Natasha and Chen, and Kelly and Henry. And I'm really sorry if I refer to Natasha as Natalie in this episode because I can't stop it. I'm addicted. I can't not call her Natalie. I know her name is Natasha. Please bear with me. Count in the comments the number of times I messed that up. I'm sure I'll try and catch it in the edit anyway. At this point during the Mr. and Mrs., Joey pointed out that Finn was kind of like Rocco 2.0, Graham's pirate self. And honestly, I do see it. However, Finn, this episode and last episode, but this episode in particular, Finn is giving more and more skeeziness. I think if you were into him, you would be so up for it. It's so nice, so romantic. But when you're not quite there, it's just a little bit not okay. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Also, Chen showed his salty side in the challenge, which was a shock because I don't ever expect that of Chen. But he was being very salty with us. And actually, that carried on for the whole volume as well. And I really don't like that from Chen. I like it from Fusebox because I really like the drama and I like the depth to his character. But I do not like that as an islander who is on the island. Do you know what I mean? When we're doing Mr. and Mrs. as well, basically the islanders have to stand in front of each other, paired up and say, hey, my favorite sex position is this. I think Jude's favorite sex position is this. And then they'll flip boards and make sure that they're all lining up and everything is like the same. And it does turn out that Jude and Lyle have different likes, which is really, really nice. However, their dialogue throughout the volume apparently stays very, very similar. From the people in chat who said that they chose Lyle over Jude, they do line up quite equally. And I think there is... I talked about this a bit in the stream as well. I don't mind that too much as someone who will probably only play the season once and only if I do play it multiple times, probably go with Jude. However, if you're someone who replays the season a lot, I can see that being like, well, there's no point in choosing one over the other. Just go for the same person if the dialogue's the same. And I think there are some subtle differences in the dialogue, like when they reference their careers and their hopes and their dreams and their dates and stuff like that, but the dialogue structure remains the same for both of them. I also can't really argue with this too much as I want to, because realistically, if you were sat down with anyone on Love Island, you would probably be having those same conversations, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kat also makes passes at Jude during the Mr. and Mrs. challenges, and I don't love the way that she's like, hello, so I'm interested in you now, sir. I'm interested in you. I would like her to just take a step back and just let us exist. You know, let us have Jude. Let us have that space. Kat, I've had enough. Nothing really notable happened throughout the Mr. and Mrs. apart from the fact that Chen and Natasha, who were coupled up, did really badly, and I don't think they got any right, whereas us and Jude, we got all of them right, and that was because of the multiple choice options, and chat did help me a little bit. So that is something to keep in mind. There are correct answers, and you can see them in our live stream over on the live tab on YouTube. And then we have a very devastating put down that Finn gives us as well. And hey, do you know what? I actually have respect for this man. It was fleeting, but in this moment, I have respect for this man. We did well on the balloons, didn't we? Too well, if you ask me. Oh, please. You think your partner is bad, Melissa? How about Finn? We started so good, and now it's gone to nothing. Sounds a bit like our relationship. Whoa! Finn! Did you hear that? Oh my gosh, what a devastating one-liner. Are you kidding? By the way, can I just go back to the challenges? The balloon popping challenge? A little bit awkward. So it was one of those ones where you had to use your bodies pressed together to try and like close that space. However, Melissa and Hamish got really quite into it and actually didn't realize that the ding 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 had gone. Even though in the Mr. and Mrs. challenge, Hamish got all of Melissa's ideas and like her favorite positions and favorite things all mixed up with Natasha. So I think Hamish and Melissa might actually have a thing going on. I think we speculated about that in the last part. It was really weird to see two women fighting over Hamish. Hamish, you know what I mean? So after we were calming down after the challenge, we were all sat on the lawn and heard in the distance Kat, Finn and Kelly having a little argument. So it was a gem option, 17 gems. Do we go and sort out what it is, hear what it is, get nosy? And you know me, I do like a good gossip. I do like some drama. So we headed over that and I paid those gems. Kelly gives us a clap back as well. And do you know what? Kelly went up in my estimations too. Nothing's going on, Kat. I have eyes, Finn. Well, maybe you should use them and look away then. Kelly! Oh my gosh, this is the episode of clapbacks. Need to write that one down. She's so good. This is a really good time to mention as well. Fusebox did send me some gems and some more passes. So thank you so much to Fusebox, who are absolutely incredible. They are helping me to show you a lot of the gem options. So big thank you to Fusebox. If you want to get some love to Fusebox down in the comments as well, that would be amazing. Very, very grateful. So thank you so much. After that, we're immediately like turned our attention away to Melissa, Hamish and Natasha. And they were having a bit of an argument. We decided to protect Natasha and we went all in as like a big Natasha advocate, which I think was a good thing. I did have the question, I think some of you did in chat as well. Why is Natasha going after Hamish? Why is that something that's happening? I cannot work it out. He must be very talented in other departments. That's all I will say. At this point, the Islanders sit down and text in who they think has won the challenge. Jude and I voted for Melissa and Hamish, but the majority of people voted for Jude and Iris to win, which was amazing. So we got a prize. And I don't know if I like this prize. The prize was that Jude would get to prepare a dessert for us, Iris, but he also gets to take two other boys along with him and they would cook the main and the starter. So it doesn't really feel like a reward for Jude. It feels like a reward for us. But I feel like there should have been more girls involved. I feel like there should have been just something a bit more. Either way, this was where we found out there was going to be a VIP guest. And I was looking forward to this. As we come into part 2, we find out that Jude is going to be doing the dessert. Chen is going to be making the main. And Henry is going to be making the starter. We also have a conversation with Natasha on the terrace, which keeps bringing us back to Stefan. Is Stefan coming back? I really feel like we are gearing up to have Stefan return. Maybe when we're like properly solid with Jude or maybe Natasha, who knows? But I feel like that is something that's definitely going to happen. We also got a Stefan lore drop, which was really, really interesting. So Stefan was dumped from the villa when a Casa girl, Sarah Ann, came back and basically said about Stefan kissing her, that wasn't necessarily something that we knew about, or it was just a little bit strange how it was phrased. But basically, the girls in the villa voted Stefan out because of this. And Iris wasn't voted out. Stefan was voted out. So that's why that relationship never went anywhere. Which also is another reason why I feel like Stefan could come back. And then we need to, you know, get some... What's it called when you finish something? Closure. get some closure. Now, I've written down Stefan and Iris both Shelley? No idea. Stefan and Iris were both Shelley. There was also, when we were on the terrace with Natasha, she was just there to give us information. There was no flirting opportunities. There was nothing there. She was there as a sort of like a spokesperson for the storyline, which is fine. It happens from time to time. I get it. But it would have been really nice to have that sort of interaction with Natasha. Then things start happening quickly. So we go on our dates. We have the starter, the main, and the dessert. After each of the dates, they're nice dates. They're not too intense. I did feel like Chen on his date was a little bit pushy, especially when it came to the idea of kissing us at the end. But we did have the opportunity to kiss Henry, Chen, and Jude. The only option we chose was Jude. But it was actually, I think, vegetarian, the meal that we had, because Henry made a tomato bruschetta with camembert and Chen made a mushroom salad, which seemed really nice. And I don't remember what Jude made, but I know it was a dessert. So I'm hoping it'd be vegetarian. Although, you know, gelatin, stuff like that. Just something you think about when you don't eat meat. Also, at this point, we realized, also during this part, we had Sean here from Tempting Fate, and he was back. He was a professional chef. I'm sure he still is. So he was back to help the boys. And actually, I think he did a really good job, and it was really nice to have him back into the villa as well. He was also a catalyst for several different gem options. One to learn about some drama, and another one of the gem options was to have an extension of the dates. We went for the date extension option and we decided to take Jude over to the swing seats and we'd had coffee. And you, chat, convinced me to pick this option. And I'm glad we did because it was a really nice moment with Jude. He basically sat with his coffee milk pot thing and he made some coffee art and it was really nice. And we had a little bit more of a chat with Sean and it all just went very, very quickly, very smoothly. It was nice. However, according to our wonderful chatters, it looks like most of the options for the coffee after dinner were the same. Instead of everyone having like unique talents as well, everyone was able to make the coffee art, including Natasha. Half of me is like, it's a really nice sweet moment, but again, for that replayability, it means all of the characters have the same talent. But if you're only playing the season once, I don't see that as a problem. But again, if you're playing it multiple times, it could be a little bit of an issue. Also, this is a nice time to bring up what happened in chat today. So Sudden and Nick Cash, thank you so much for becoming channel members. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being added to the members list as well. And I hope you're doing well as well. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. Also, thank you so much to Mike for donating £5, super chatting £5. I really appreciate you. And I hope you too are having a lovely day. And thank you so much to all of our members. I appreciate you all so much. And anyone who watches the ads or has YouTube Premium, thank you so much as well, because it all helps so much. Now, Liz brought up a point as well, which was that when you say no to Sean the first time round, he tries to convince you to take the gem option because you can talk about recoupling and exploring recoupling options with the characters. Apparently this did not happen and you didn't actually get to explore recoupling options. I fear that it might have been like the phrasing and saying exploring recoupling options, they meant like talking to people that you could have potential to recouple with, but not actually being able to recouple. It does make it slightly misleading, but I didn't see that option myself, so I can't really comment on that beyond that. But we also had the option to kiss Jude at the end of the day, and you know we did. We took that option. We had a kiss. So the only difference between the chats really was that if you picked to have those dates with Kelly or Natasha, you didn't talk about the dinner date option. Does that make sense? Possibly also having different date ideas, like Jude saying he wanted to go on an adventurous date, Natasha more saying that she wanted to stay in with the MC. And I really do like those little touches. I think they're really good and it does split up the characters a little bit. We head into part 3 and Finn and Kat emerge looking a little bit happy with themselves. Now, I still think they slept together when they were found under the bed. I wouldn't be surprised if they also had a goodbye sleep together, because at this point they basically are a bit secretive about what happened on, and Kat says she needs to speak to Kelly. She goes over and does that. We don't really get to find out, but we do have a nice walk with Finn over to the fire pit, and he flirts with us quite significantly. I was hoping you'd say yes. Always feel like we should be spending more time together. Finn takes the lead and sets the pace so the others leave you behind. I wanted to have a chat with you before the recoupling. And what do you want to chat about, Finn? Can't help but love the way you say my name. Feels right to hear it from your lips. Now, I'm not one for flirting back with people who potentially are in a committed sexual relationship, But I am gonna flirt back. I want to see where his head's at a little bit. So you're telling me that if I say your name, it'll hook you in? Who says I'm not already hooked, Iris? But it wouldn't hurt you to keep it up. Got any other tips for me? One or two? Not gonna tell me, are you? You don't need the help, trust me. You'll have me on my knees if I do. We also get to the fire pit and it's time to do our first girls' choice recoupling of the season. It's an interesting one, to say the very least. First up is Kelly, who picks Finn. Kat seems to be okay with this, and she actually says that she needs to move on and be happy alone, not with Finn. You know, props to Kat, but oh my gosh, she is giving helicopter syndrome right now. I do not know what's coming or going. Kelly also then kisses Finn directly on the lips, and as much as I feel like, you know, you go girl, we're in Love Island, you do you, doing that in front of their ex, like straight away, I don't know if I vibe with that, but Kelly, you do you. We then have Natasha, who chooses to couple up with Hamish after giving us quite a lingering look. So at this point, I'd really like it if Natasha decided to couple up with us because she looked at us and then chose Hamish. But I do think my headcanon in this situation, and I talked about this in stream as well, is that the producers were like, you have to pick a boy this time round and then you can pick someone else later down the line because there are the right amount of couples. But as was pointed out in stream by several of you in chat, the boys could have coupled up together if there were 2 single boys left. Also, I do feel like it would take our autonomy away a little bit as Iris, but I do feel like later down the line we are going to be able to be picked by Natasha or pick Natasha if we choose to, or Kelly. I don't know how I feel about it. I just know because my head was on Jude, I was okay with it. So yes, Natasha has picked Hamish, and then we are up next and we get the choice to couple up with Chen, Henry or Jude. We picked Jude almost straight away because we had a spark. And can I just say, this was maybe the steamiest kiss we've seen on Love Island so far. I thought it was really quite good. It was a 10 gem option, but you tell me, do you think it was worth it? Oh, I'm gonna jump into his arms and kiss him. You jump into his arms and wrap your legs around his waist. You just keep getting better, Iris. You've seen nothing yet. You lean in and softly press your lips to his. He holds you tighter and sighs. The kisses deepen and you can hear the other islanders cheering for you. He tilts his head and teases his tongue across your lips in front of everyone. My gosh, Jude, my gosh. Asking to enter. You part your lips and your tongues move together in a passionate rhythm. You feel his fingers slowly stroking your neck as you hold onto his muscular back. This might be the most steamy kiss I've seen in this game. You separate and see him grin at you. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was maybe the steamiest kiss. It was worth the gem options. After that, Melissa chose Chen and Kat picked Henry. I don't know if there was really any kind of like romantic anything behind it. I know that Melissa alluded to in the stream earlier that she wanted to pick up Chen at some point and go back to him. I don't think that's gonna last, but it would be nice to see if it was going to. Immediately after the recoupling, there was such a light atmosphere. No one was arguing, everyone seemed happy. It was really fresh actually, and I really enjoyed it, but I don't know if it's going to last. In fact, I would go out on a limb and say it's definitely 100% not going to last. Melissa also took us to the side and was like, hey, by the way, are you into Natasha or Kelly? Because I feel like you're into both, but who are you more into? We picked Natasha, but this does open up another dialogue option later. So I highly recommend picking the person you genuinely 100% do want to go into the next situation with, which is we get a text saying the hideaway is open, and Pat, God knows why, decides, hey, do you know what? Iris and Jude would be great in the hideaway. So we get voted to go in, which is amazing. So Kat's being nice. I also do think that there is a chance she's faking her feelings about Finn, or rather not having feelings about Finn, but it is what it is. And then we go into the bathroom to get our perfume, and Finn's in there, and we have this awkward towel moment. Oh, hello, hey. Well, okay, Finn in a towel. Finn is in a towel, everyone. Finn is in a towel. Emergency, emergency, Finn is in a towel. You rush into the bathroom and nearly bump into Finn, who's just come out of his shower. You can see the water dripping down his abs. Finn has a very nice body. I like his tattoos. Whoa, someone's in a rush. His eyes widen as he takes you in. Whoa, you look so beautiful. Just when I think you can't get any better. He slowly looks you up and down, a smile on his lips. Thought you'd be on your way to the hideaway already. Oh, I'm just grabbing my perfume. Here is me hoping it was all the way to see me. Finn confidently holds your gaze, a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. Oh, I'm gonna spritz my perfume and bounce. Oh, that's a bit. Oh, he's so skeevy. Nah, just here for my perfume. Finn watches as you grab your perfume bottle and spritz a little onto your neck and wrists. Oh, that's fair. Have a good night. You sweep out of the bathroom and leave him staring after you. This is where I really started to feel like Finn was incredibly skeevy. It just didn't feel right to me. I didn't like it. I wanted to be out of that situation. And I did. I got out of it very, very, very sharpish. There was an option to flirt with Finn though. So if you're into Finn, then is your chance to flirt. So as we go into the hallway, the entranceway, Jude is like, hey, just wanted to check. Do you want to actually go to the hideaway with me, or would you rather go with Natasha because I know you're into her? I think that's such a lovely option. It wasn't a gem option. It was completely free, but also just Jude checking on us that we actually genuinely did want to go into the hideaway with him, I think was a really nice touch. So I really commend Fusebox for that one. As we go in as well, Jude immediately has the Riz, and I really liked the dynamic between us in the hideaway. However, we did get hit with a gem option to bring out the box of goodies. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I was tempted to because I know Jude likes the whipped cream, but I decided that we should maybe skip that for now. And instead there was another option which wasn't a gem option, and that was to go all the way, do bits, kiss and cuddle, or bedtime. It was really nice that none of those were gem options. We, of course, after a chat vote, by the way, went all the way. As we wake up in the morning, we woke up again to some cat drama. Look, all I'm saying is if I had a nickel for every time Cat interrupts us after like an intimate moment, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Right, Cat? So unfortunately, we were interrupted by Cat, but we're always up for the drama. And as Mike phrased it in chat, Cat was in fact playing the drama drum. Unfortunately, that was pretty much the end of the episode. We were, of course, left on a cliffhanger, as always, which was some drama between Cat and Melissa, I believe. So I'm excited to see what that's about in the next part, but let me know what you thought of this volume down in the comments below. Did you enjoy the recap? I definitely enjoy filming them. I love doing it, and thank you so much to everyone who is spending any time with me at all in the streams as well, or in the YouTube comments after. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to these wonderful people on stream for being our wonderful channel members. I appreciate you so much, and if you want to become a member, there is a button on screen somewhere that says join, or a link in the description to become a channel member, and I just would appreciate that so much. It helps me pay the rent, it helps me to play Love Island every single week for you, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back Thursday 6 p.m. BST for more Love Island the game, and I will see you then. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.